Hello everybody out there in Tumblr land. I am the Gina Chu, as I'm known on Tumblr, and this is my 150 followers video. Oh my gosh! I figured I would start off by really quickly just introducing who I am for those of my followers who may be watching this and don't interact with me too often. My name is Gina. I'm 29 years old. I live in New York on Long Island. I'm a writer, or at least I try to be. Writing is hard. Writing is very hard. But I make my living by working in a law firm as an office clerk. Um, Other than that, I'm a big video gamer, big fan of literature. You can go through my Tumblr, pretty much see my interest and thoughts on a lot of things. But anyway, I asked people to send me in questions because I think that's what you do for videos like this. I've never really done a video like this before, so I'm going to go through the questions really quick because my stupid camera does not record for very long, so I'm going to go for it. Poison Ninja, one of my favorite Tumblr followers, thank you for sending me this question. He asked me what my favorite superheroes were, and I think they were asking if I preferred Marvel or DC, or what my favorite Marvel and DC superheroes were. I'm not a DC fan. I never have been. I've always been a big Marvel fan. I love the X-Men. Shadowcat and Colossus in particular, Kitty Pryde, and Pyotr Nikolaevich Rasputin. Love them. Two of my favorite superheroes for sure. I also really love Wolverine. I'm not really a big DC fan, but if I had to pick, I'd say Batman. You can't go wrong with Batman, right? Some of the Batman movies were kind of good. I don't know. I've read a lot of Marvel comics. I haven't read any DC comics, really, so, yeah. Okay, next question, I guess. I feel as awkward as I'm sure this is coming out. Sue Loves Cheese, another one of my favorite Tumblr followers, asked me what is my favorite type of cheese. And considering your username, I should have known that this question was coming, Sue, but I'm not a big cheese fan. Which makes a lot of people always look at me and go, what do you mean you're not a big cheese fan? Are you out of your mind? It's cheese we're talking about. I just don't like cheese. I've never really been a big cheese fan. But I do love mozzarella. I don't know if it's because I'm Italian or what, but it's the only cheese that I will actually eat just by itself, like fresh mozzarella. So yeah, that's my favorite cheese. So there you go. My dear friend Ash, known on Tumblr as Coloctopus the Octopus, sent me a couple of questions. Ash, that's for you, darling. Sending you all of my love. Thank you so much for sending me in questions, and thank you for all the chats that we've had and whatnot, whatever, because you and I have talked quite a bit back and forth. But anyway, who did I look up to most as a child? Well, when I was a child, I was very much in kind of my own headspace, very into video games and cartoons and whatnot. Probably the X-Men. I loved the X-Men. I always used to watch the cartoons, and I was, one of those kids, like many people out there, that were bullied and made fun of, and I never felt like I belonged. I always felt like I was different from every other kid, and the X-Men cartoon was all about, embracing your differences and realizing that it's okay and great to be different. And so I really looked up to that and kept all of the messages and lessons that show taught in my mind as a kid. Ash then asked, who do I look up to as an adult? That's a very easy question to answer. My mother. My mother is perhaps one of the most brave, incredible, strong, beautiful women on the planet. Not to get into particulars, but she's been through so many different things and changed her life around in so many different ways, and done things that require so much bravery. I swear, if I can be half the person that my mother is, I will consider my life a success. She is amazing, and I will always look up to her. So yeah, my mom, definitely, for sure. And the last question that Ash asked me was, what made you first use Tumblr? Mass Effect. I was Googling Mass Effect as I was just playing the first game, just to, see fan art, whatever, see what other Mass Effect fans were saying, and I ran into a lot of Tumblr posts. So that kind of led me into Tumblr, and then I made my own Tumblr, and I just fell into it and got completely addicted. So yeah, that was how I got into Tumblr. Mass Effect, of course. Everything is about Mass Effect. Yeah. No, not really, but there are some people in my life that think so. Anyway, last question is from an IRL friend of mine. I know her as Jet. Tumblr users know her as He Is the Mask I Wear. She asked me, what do you think is the biggest challenge you've overcome to date? And I thought a lot about this question. And the answer that I kind of came up with was my last relationship. I'd never really spoken too much about my last relationship, but I'll summarize it really quick. I was dating somebody for 5 years. It was an incredibly abusive relationship emotionally, and then the abuse turned physical, and I immediately gitfoed out of the relationship. But it completely turned my life upside down. You know, I wanted to spend the rest of my life with this person, and now all of a sudden I'm kicking them out of my house, and I'm all alone. And, you know, I had just gotten a new job after being out of work for 6.5 months, and I was still very skittish and trying to, you know, really find myself within the scope of my job. And, you know, and then all of a sudden my personal life was kind of turned upside down. And I was left with the big question, which is what was going on in my head that made me feel it was okay to be in an abusive relationship. And that answer is very private and very complicated, but it has a lot to do with lack of self-esteem and a lot of stuff like that. I still sometimes deal with some remnants from that relationship, but I have an amazing support group with my family and friends, and I've definitely come a long way from being in that relationship. But yeah, I would have to say that getting out of that abusive relationship and kind of picking up the pieces of what was left is probably the biggest challenge that I've had to overcome. So yeah, that's it, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Those are all of the questions and things. Thank you guys so much for following me on Tumblr. You guys are amazing. I genuinely love and adore every single one of you. I would give personal shout-outs, but then I would probably leave out somebody that I adore because, you know, there's, I think over 160 of you now. But I love every single one of you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for always being there, for being such a positive group of people to be able to interact with every day, and for putting up with the insanity of my blog. So there you go. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't boring, and I hope everybody has a great day. So thank you guys so much. Love you.